Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Persia. So it looks like a lot of people were saying to give it a go at some sort of domination victory in the late game. I think what we're going to go ahead and try to do is, there was quite a few people that were also saying culture victory, and I think it would be far more interesting to try to transition into a culture victory, considering normally I would be winning a culture victory in about 70 turns. It's going to be a very, very difficult thing to pull off. I don't think it's impossible. Well, you know what? If Gorgo wasn't in the game, it wouldn't have been impossible. Like, if you look at Gorgo, she has 174 defensive tourists, whereas if you compare that to everyone else in the game, they have round about, say, 80 to 70, which is far more reasonable. So I think just the fact that Gorgo is in this game means I'm going to have to try to win through some sort of domination. Now, we've invested a lot into cultural infrastructure right now, but it is time to start transitioning into military infrastructure. And one part of that military infrastructure is getting something like the intelligence agency. I'm also going to be getting rid of all of these theater square pins. I will finish the theater squares that I've already started and the amphitheaters and stuff because, you know, culture isn't completely useless when you're going for a domination victory, but it's not the most useful thing. The big downside is I did actually go for a religion, which is a bit of a problem because that's going to net us a negative loyalty modifier with all the cities that we capture. You know what? There was one person who suggested try to go for a culture victory, and if that fails, go for a giant death robot push in the late game. And I kind of like that idea. So instead of going directly for a domination victory, we might push hard for a culture victory, and if that doesn't work out, we'll just go the giant death robot route. I mean, no matter what, I am going to have to kill Greece this game just because she has so much culture that's blocking me from winning a culture victory, so at the very least, she's going to have to die, but I think the other people might be worth keeping around. Over here in Shahir it comes. I'm just going to go ahead and get started on granaries, monuments and watermills just to get this city sort of building up to something reasonable. This rank is starting to look very nice. I'll put another mine in here. Eventually I might go ahead and plaster in a whole bunch of pyrodizes, but for now it's looking pretty okay. It might be a good idea to buy the salt here as well to give this a better tile to work. Netherlands is denouncing me again, which again is a really good thing because it's cutting down the amount of grievances I have with them. And in fact, my grievances are now neutral to where I have grievances against them. We also just stole 1,000 gold, which popped up there for a second, which is great news because it means we'll be able to purchase the factory in here, for example. Now, we did put a little bit of production in here, but I think getting the factory online right now is a big deal because it's going to start producing AoE production for me. In fact, I think it's hitting somewhere in the order of 7 cities, which is pretty damn nice. Yep, it's hitting 7 cities. It's hitting Pasargadae, Tushpa, Gordian, Ai Gay, as someone said in my comment section, Tarsus, Ray, and Bactri. Shizuoka just rebelled, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that one for myself because it'll get me some Eris, as well as nab me the nice little city that it is. I'm going to take a moment here to heal up my units and maybe see if I can push towards Athens. I have another envoy. I'm going to take Suzerainty of Antananarivo because I like the extra culture from them. Similar sort of stuff in Shizuoka. I would just like to get all this basic stuff online. Kind of sad that this was settled off freshwater, which makes the city just so much worse. In fact, I don't really know why the AI settled here. It's a pretty terrible settle location. Aqueduct completed here in Sparta, so we're picking up 10 production total from the industrial zone. That's if anyone is wondering why I'm building so many aqueducts and industrial zones, that's why, because it just nets you so much production. Let's get to work on a workshop as well for the extra production from that. Library has been completed, although technically I could buy I could build the coal power plant very, very quickly. And that would be very, very nice. I kind of want to maybe see if I could push for something else. You know what? I guess I'll just build the coal power plant to start having somewhere that provides power to the local area. Gordian can use a lumber mill here. Is this what I want to do? Let me take a moment here to kind of really calculate what I want to do with this city. This is a hills tile, so I'm tempted to chop here and put a mine on this. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'd like to convert my capital to my religion as well, so I'm going to go ahead and move this missionary in and start doing that. It'll take a while to really erode all of the Protestantism pressure, but hopefully getting a little bit of extra pressure will allow it to start converting. We do have a lot of pressure pumping out from Tarsus and now also from Ray, but it really isn't that much when you consider just how much pressure from other religions there are. We do have plenty of our population converted to my religion, and there's plenty of pressure that has been generated in general, but I really do need to start pushing my religion out. I'm a little bit worried about these apostles kind of hanging around here, so I'm going to see if I can hide my missionaries inside my cities. Right, the Congo will buy my salt for 10 gold per turn, which is a pretty nice deal. It's about 300 gold over 30 turns, which I'm pretty damn smitten about. Another mine over here in Zranka. This city is starting to look very, very nice in terms of its productivity. It's got a lot of high production tiles as well as really good growth tiles. Something could be said for getting farms in here and maybe putting a district here, for example. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with this city so far. Looks like my spy has leveled up. I'm going to go ahead and take the linguist to let him perform missions faster, as just being a higher level in general will mean that he's more successful. And we'll keep stealing gold here from the Greeks. Claim a great person. Hey, we got Filippo Brunicelli, or Brunelleschi. I can never remember how to say his name. Ooh, I definitely want to get James Watt. And in fact, I actually really want the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. I do have to give up this really nice mine tile, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. I mean, the alternative would be to build a harbour in my capital and then go for the mausoleum, which would take about the same amount of turns, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. Building the mausoleum here would take 17 turns, but that's including this tile, whereas building the harbour plus the mausoleum will take about 18 turns in this city. Call it 20 turns. So I think it'll work out faster doing it in the capital. I could also use one of Filippo Brunelleschi's charges to get that to go faster. And I could also maybe get another trade route in here to speed that up as well. I'm having a hard time passing up this +5 campus, but I would like to chop this tile first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and do some production saving in Bactry while I move this builder over there. More Greek levied troops running around my territory. Should be fairly easy to kill because I did manage to get walls up in a few of these cities. The Greeks stole back suzerainty of the Antananarivo, which again is a bit of pain in the hole, but there's not much I can do other than kill the units that come at me. Of course, there's going to be a swordsman in the middle of my fertile farmlands that I'll have to go ahead and kill, who will then pillage the farm and make himself into a gigantic nuisance. I've been doing a little bit of production saving in Tushpa, and I harvested a nice stone tile over here, so it'll be able to get its holy site in 4 turns. This is a great example of when using this is a really nice benefit to your empire. About time I started ripping up these plantations to replace these plantations with lumber mills once I harvest the bananas. Right, time to head towards natural history now that we have the Enlightenment. I want natural history for the envoys as well as the ability to build archaeologists. That's going to be how I get most of my tourism in the next few turns. I'm not going to really be going for great works of art. I just accidentally moved a builder, which I totally didn't mean to do by left clicking. Left clicking shouldn't move units. This is a plains hill jungle, so I'm kind of tempted to completely strip it of banana and jungle to put a mine on it. Now that's a different thing over here because this city doesn't have a whole lot of growth tiles, so I need to keep the jungles, so I can't just put mines down, otherwise the city won't have enough food to grow. Oh, withering drought over here hurts a little bit. It's going to slow the city's growth down quite a bit, but it's not that bad considering this city is mostly working production and most of its actual growth tiles weren't hurt too badly. It's mostly the districts that were hit. Dam has been completed over here in Sousa, so it's about time we got our theater square up, although this city could also use a factory. Almost forgot to buy this coal tile over here, thank goodness I remembered. Sweet, so we were hit by an aid request natural disaster, so I think we're going to go ahead and put both of these forward because if I could get some more people to go to war with Gorgo, I would be very, very happy. I'm going to be spending all of my Diplo favor on that if I can. We got a little bit of a musketman problem over here in Shizuoka. I do have a crossbowman in the nearby area who's kind of trying to get rid of him. I'm going to see if I can bring in my second crossbowman to help out. I could technically go for the Ruhr Valley in Pella, and it's not the worst place in the universe to get a Ruhr Valley. Sure enough, there isn't a whole lot of mining tiles, but there's not really a whole lot of mining tiles anywhere in my empire, and getting a Ruhr Valley wouldn't be terrible. Since when does Ruhr Valley give +4 faith? Is that because of Islam? Is that because of the religion? Okay, it's because of the religion. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I was like, wait a minute, why does Ruhr Valley give faith? The city already has a really nice production line, so I'm going to go ahead and give the Ruhr Valley a go. I don't know if I'll grab it, but, you know, we'll give it our best shot. I could also maybe use a builder over here to improve. There's a couple of tiles that could do with improving. For example, I could put a mine here. I could improve this. Might be worth it to get one over here. A holy site done over here in Tushpa, and I'm actually going to spend some time to build this holy site up because it has the meeting house, and more importantly, I just need a little bit more faith income to actually start spreading my religion to make it useful. Oh, Jesus Christ. This musketman moved onto a hill tile and then instantaneously managed to attack my crossbowman and kill it in one turn. That's pretty unfortunate and not what I was expecting at all. I didn't realize he would be able to do that. He also stole a builder from me, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. And unfortunately, I don't have the iron I need to upgrade this chariot. I'm going to see if I can maybe buy some iron. And again, you see, if I wanted to buy the 20 iron from Arabia, it would cost me 111 gold per turn. But if I cancel that deal and just buy the iron one at a time, it'll only cost me about 200 gold because it's costing me 5 gold per piece of iron. This is a definite oversight in how the AI values resources, and I really think it should be addressed because all it does is encourage me to have to sit here and click and do it all over and over and over and over and just completely sort of circumvent the entire point of the system. I don't know if I would really consider this an exploit rather than just like a design oversight. I don't know if I would call this a bug, but like just, you know, sort of just a quirk of the way things work. You know, the behavior is intended. It's just the way the player is encouraged to interact with it is unintended. So it's sort of design negative emergent behavior, or I'm not really sure if there's a phrase for that, like where basically the design has good intentions, where obviously, you know, the more of a resource you're trying to buy, maybe the more expensive it is because, you know, they're kind of curious, well, why do you want so much iron from me? But the outcome actually has like a net negative impact on the game mechanics. But I have a knight here which should help me fight off this musketman alongside this crossbowman. Bye bye little knight, easiest kill of my life, plus I got a promotion on this pikeman, which is pretty damn great. Time to finally rebuild this plantation here and get another access to my sugar. I should probably go through and see if there's anybody who wants to buy my sugar. Sugar, do. Tea? Would you like to buy some tea? He would like to buy some tea. Yes, there you go, Japan, there's your tea. Would you like to buy some olives as well? You don't value the olives quite as much, but I do have a lot of the olives, so that's fine. Coupe the Poupe, would you like to buy my stuff? Looks like Coupe will buy 3 of my luxuries that I have spare for 23 gold per turn. I'll take that deal. It's not the most amazing deal, but it is an acceptably good one. Alright, I'm going to vote up my own disaster once for free because you can spend 1 point for free, and then I'm going to vote up the city-state emergency with as many points as I can to try and get it to pass through to get people in on this fight. Okay, there's the Dead Sea. We've been revealing a lot of natural wonders because it looks like a lot of people joined in the war against the Greeks, which is great because Greece is the people who I want to get killed. Oh, it looks like just Hojo. Well, at least Hojo's on my side, and I got to circumnavigate the world on the same turn that the age changed, as I got a golden age. So actually, all that worked out really great for me, and I'm very happy about that. I want to try to liberate Jerusalem, and I want to see if I could maybe get these guys. What are the odds that I could get the Netherlands to join me in war? Now, it looks like because they denounced me, they just won't accept any invitation to war. But Japan has a pretty sizable army, and they're going to be at war with Greece now as well, which is great. Got a bit of a problem here. That is a level 3 cavalry unit. And by level 3, I mean it's a full army, so it has an 87 combat strength compared to my city's 51. So that's a pretty scary position to be in, all things considered. Let's see if we can take back Antananarivo to make my life a little bit easier. It'll also get me some era score. Oh wow, that's really, really unfortunate for Coupe. His city is literally settled out into the middle of nowhere, and all he's been able to build is a theater square and an encampment. And the only other city he got was all the way up here in Nigaruaya. I mean, at the very least, he could have settled down here. There's probably a settler that went here. I mean, he could have even settled here. Like, there was plenty of room for him. But he just happened to find the only tiny one-tile island in the whole map. And it didn't go well for him. Anyway, it's Golden Age time, so I think out of all of these things, I'm not really fussed about which one I go for at this point. 2 arms would be nice because I could start producing units to fight the Greeks here. And wiping out the Greeks would be a really good idea. You know what? Let's pick up 2 arms. Okay, our fella did loot 1,000 gold and he's going to try to escape on foot. Excellent. He made it back with 1,000 gold, which we will then use to purchase ourselves a coal power plant to try and boost the productivity of this city, as well as provide power in general. That'll finish the harbour, which will allow us to finish this mausoleum at Halicarnassus a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, I won't be able to build the mausoleum at Halicarnassus in Halicarnassus, but you know, you can't get everything you want. Hey, the Congo wants to give me a gift because the aid request went through, which is brilliant, as does Arabia. This is going to be great. This money is going to fuel my army that I hopefully use to try to murder the Greeks. Although they do have these army corps things, which are very, very scary. So I might have to redirect from colonialism and start seeing if I can pick up nationalism to get my own corps. See if we can take out this musketman, because he's going to be a bit of a problem if we don't. It also might be a good idea to turn this lad into a pikeman. We'll do that next turn. Hey, we got our very first great rider, which is pretty exciting. So we can actually finally start generating a bit of real tourism. It's not much, but it is something. Right, mausoleum at Halicarnassus time. We'll plop that down and then we'll use one charge of Filippo Brunelleschi to get that finished in 2 turns. So that all works out very, very nicely. We are allowed to spend 1 charge on this because once it's finished, he'll give 1 charge back to Filippo Brunelleschi, which will make my life easier. I'd love to pick up James Watt and all that sort of stuff as well, so I'm pretty excited about that. Time to start working on some musketmen to push back against the Greeks. I'm going to want musketmen and bombards, which is going to take up most of my niter. Finally, we got some lumber mills up here in Tarsus, so this city is starting to look pretty reasonable. We can take it off the anti-food focus and we can start growing it like a reasonable person. Would be a good idea to get a trader in here to maybe help feed the city, because it is pretty low on food. Right, at long last, we've been saving up a ton of production here in Bactry. So we were able to build a district in a single turn because I've been waiting to place it over here. I think, however, I'm going to put the production into the Archaeological Museum, instantly chop that out in 2 turns, and then place the campus down. This way, the Archaeological Museum got all that saved up production, which means I can finish it very quickly, but I also get the really, really nice campus fairly quickly because it's relatively cheap in comparison to the other things I want to build. It also prevents me from losing any of the production overflow. One of the things I am going to want to build are stuff like medieval walls and things like that to try and get a little bit of extra tourism, but I am also trying to build up an army, which mostly involves building musketmen and crossbowmen and pikemen and all that sort of stuff. So let's get to work on that sort of a thing. And once I'm finished colonialism, I'm not going to go for natural history. We're going to pick up nationalism instead so that I can start combining units together. As well as, actually, I believe this lets me get an additional spy that I can start sending against Greece to hurt them. And another great work towards our victory condition. Definitely, I'm going to try to kill Greece here. Using this city-state liberation war as a pretense for completely destroying their entire civilization. Let's go ahead and heal this crossbowman up, as well as start shooting this musketman over here. I don't really have a lot of unit power in the area, but once I can get maybe a few of these like crossbowmen and a few of these musketmen out and start pushing up along this coastline, I think things will get a little bit easier for me. Japan as well is doing a good job killing some of the Greek units, which will make my life easier because it means their army size is smaller. The smaller their army is, the easier time I'm going to have. That seems pretty straightforward logic right there. Right, 1 turn left on the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. I swear to God, if I lose this wonder, I'm going to be so incredibly mad. I heard the wonder finishing noise and I was like, no. But I think it was Monashki Temple that was finished. Thank goodness for that. All right, sweet. So we did get the mausoleum, which means we do get a free great admiral. More importantly, our great engineers will have an additional charge, which means we'll handle the colonialism stuff in a minute, which means if we can get James Watt, every single factory will provide +4 production rather than +2. So that's a pretty big deal. And we do have the most great engineer points in the game, so I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to grab him. Oh, I got 100 gold here from Qing Shi. He was a great admiral. And now Filippo Brunelleschi has another +2 charges. So it's basically like we never spent a charge on this. So that's why I really like to use the wonder building guys to build the mausoleum. Gorgo is still fighting me for the leadership of Antananarivo. I'm going to keep taking that because I really don't want her to be getting the benefit of the +30% culture from this. So that's why I'm fighting so hard for Antananarivo, even if it means I'm basically neglecting every other city-state on the map. Another lumber mill here in Gordian, and now you can see the city has become incredibly productive. 37 production per turn, with 6 of it coming from the industrial zone, 6 of it coming from the factory, and 3 of it coming from the workshop. This is a great little city, and it's going to be producing military units. In fact, I've started producing a lot of military units throughout my empire to begin the crusade against the Greeks. Right, so I think Craftsman and Public Works works just fine for me. I don't think Republican Legacy is necessary anymore, nor is that. I think Drill Manuals could go, as much as I want to keep it. Well, Drill Manuals would be really good, but the problem is I really want to plug in Feudal Contract here, because that's going to let me build my Musketmen faster, because Musketmen are a Renaissance unit, which this boosts. I'd also like to plug in the Spy card, Machiavellianism. As well as that, I'd like to plug in Professional Army to make it cheaper to upgrade my units. I'd also like to plug in Logistics or Conscription, but I think I'm going to skip out on Logistics and Conscription so that I can keep Drill Manuals going to have a huge stockpile of these strategic resources. Also, talking about huge stockpiles of strategic resources, it's time to maybe get another friendship with the Maori and see if he wants to do some sort of religious... I think a religious alliance is fine with him. More importantly, though, I want to see if I can sell him a bit of my coal, because I'm starting to get a big stockpile of it. It looks like he doesn't want coal at all. All right, there we go. Arabia will give me 10 gold per turn for my coal, which is a decent deal. Nice cheap pikeman upgrade, only cost me 120, and we'll go ahead and steal that builder back that he stole from me. Another lumber mill in Halicarnassus. The city is starting to look very robust in terms of production, considering it has 0 districts. It's making 18 production per turn. Right, Spy is leveled up. Let's go ahead and take Siphon funds, and then we'll send it back over to Sparta to start stealing again from the Greeks. Another 100 gold from this nice great admiral also won't go amiss. Bit of a field cannon problem over here. It is a levied field cannon, which I believe came from Preslav, but we might be able to kill it off, or at least prevent it from killing us, although it's likely that this pikeman will die as a result of this unit shooting it. Hey, we got our very first +3 Eris, or +3 or more adjacency holy site. I actually have no idea where I built that. Was it over here? Oh, it was up here in Tiahi Drahia. I have so many cities that often I actually forget that some of my cities exist, which is a pretty mean thing to say, but it's not intentional that I forget them. It's just that I'm paying attention to so much stuff that it's kind of hard to keep up with them all. Right, the Ruhr Valley will be done in about 16 turns. I was considering using Filippo Brunelleschi to speed it up, but it only does about 300 production, and the city itself already makes 50 production per turn. So he's really only going to shave 6 turns off it, so I'm just going to hang out here and wait until it's done. Right, intelligence agency is finished here in Tarsus. Let's go ahead and send another spy over to the Greeks. Hopefully looking for a city that I can steal a bit of cash from to hurt their entire country. I'm going to appoint Liang and just park her in Halicarnassus, where I basically plan to only produce builders for the foreseeable future. It'll just be a way to get slightly more efficient builder production. The reason I'm doing that is because Liang, when you build a builder in her city, gives them +1 build charge, which essentially, right now, a builder costs me about 160 production to get 5 build charges. You divide that by 5. We're talking 31 production per build charge. If I'm getting 6 build charges out of it, you divide 166 by 6, which is around about 25 production per build charge. So it's just a significant boost in the efficiency of actually producing builders. Finally, have enough faith saved up to get myself a apostle, and this apostle is going to start an inquisition, and then we're going to start getting ourselves some inquisitors to start spreading our religion properly. Time to renew our friendships and alliances with Japan and the Congo. Looks like I can get Arabia to join the ongoing war with Gorgo, and since he is my military ally, we'll go ahead and grab ourselves an extra 5 combat strength against the Greeks, as well as a 15% production towards military units because we're both at war. Now the really nice thing is if we could get this to a level 3 alliance, we'd also start with a free promotion on our units. A nice thing here is if I get another promotion into Victor, which I do want to do, I can actually get units with a promotion when they're built. And I think I'm going to put him over in Sparta, where the Bombard is being built, and see if I can't get a governor title into him, because having Bombard start with a promotion would be a very nice boon to them. Right, Apostle is ready to launch the Inquisition. Now I could get some nice promotions on him, but I'm more interested in the Inquisition for the era score, as well as the ability to go ahead and start recruiting Inquisitors, which will make my life a lot easier when I'm trying to clear out all this enemy religion inside my cities. Alright, I forgot to refresh my alliance with the Congo, but it looks like he offered me a cultural alliance anyway. I also forgot to do it with the Japanese, which is a bit of a mistake. Research alliance with Japan. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Oh, this is a fantastic opportunity to actually kill a field cannon here. Now, I do leave myself open to getting killed by this pike and shot, I believe it is. Yeah, this pike and shot with this knight. But if I can get Athens surrounded without a military unit inside it, I'll actually have a much easier time killing it. Brilliant. We just finished our first campus with a +3 adjacency or higher, which is going to net us some era score, as well as finishing nationalism, which means we can start combining our units together as we were hoping to. I am going to hold off on combining these crossbowmen because they have plenty of promotions and it'll be far more efficient if I just wait a bit until I have proper units. Sorry, not proper units, but these low-level crossbowmen over here that I have on the way up. Anyway, I'm going to move this warrior to here, upgrade him into a musketman, then move this musketman here to combine together with him. And now I've got a 65 combat strength musketman that'll keep me nice and happy. One thing that would be really nice is once I have ballistics, I'm going to go ahead and pick up steam power so I can start building railways. The problem is I don't have a source of iron, which is a big problem. I'm trying to see what is the closest source of iron that I could get my hands on. The closest one is over here, but it's outside of range of my cities. And I think Arabia is just about to settle a city over here, so that's kind of just gone. Although there's that settler they were sending. You know what? I'm going to purchase a settler here. Yep, I'm going to purchase a settler. I don't care that it costs 2,000 gold. I'm going to get the settler right here to start improving this. Also, this city has been like hugely neglected and really needs a builder. So just for the sake of that, I'll purchase a builder probably in Pella and send it on over to Push Kalavati. In the meantime, while I wait for this, I'm going to get myself another spy to keep stealing money. And before this bombard pops out, I'm going to make sure that I upgrade Victor with the Embrasure promotion. Just set up a trade route to go from Sparta to Shizuoka, hopefully giving me a nice road here because I don't have really good way to reinforce up over here. And we are starting to amass a little bit of an army, but it'll probably be almost another full episode of playing, or maybe half an episode, before we can really get an army together over here. But anyway, so basically, for those who are curious why the episodes are kind of varying in length, basically what I'm doing is I'm setting each episode as like the actual recording session is about an hour of gameplay, and then I just cut away anything that's not important or useful for the viewer. So whether the video is 40 minutes, that means roughly 40 minutes out of the 60 minutes that I recorded were actually important and worth looking at. Or if it's 20 minutes, that means only 20 minutes of the hour were actually useful or important to watch. That does mean that there is some variance in the length of the episodes, but I think as I just get better at doing this style, we're gonna have episodes that will kind of converge towards a more normal length. Anyway, I love you all very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.